Welcome back to part 3 of this trauma series. We've talked about how trauma impacts our doing, how trauma impacts our being, and today we're going to dive into how trauma impacts our relating, right? One of the ways that trauma can affect us is in how we connect and relate to other people. What I want to focus on today is that if you've experienced some sort of trauma in your life, especially in childhood, chances are that how you connect and attach to other people was impacted. In therapy, we call this attachment style. Our attachment style is our style or our ways and patterns of connecting or not connecting to people. And it's something that is developed in infancy and childhood and is completely dependent on how your caregiver, your parent, connected to you and cared for you and was in tune with your needs, right? And I want to just break down the 4 different attachment styles that there are. The first one is anxious or preoccupied attachment. And usually this attachment style develops when you had a parent that had inconsistent parenting. Sometimes they tended to you, sometimes they didn't, right? Someone that wasn't really in tune with your needs. Now, some of the patterns of what that can look like in adulthood for someone that has this attachment style is having a strong fear of abandonment or rejection, hyper dependence on other people, low self-esteem, overemphasis on what other people do, and needing constant reassurance that you're loved or worthy. Number 2, the second attachment style is avoidant or dismissive attachment. And usually this attachment forms when you had a parent or a caregiver that was really strict or emotionally distant. And some of the patterns that look like that in adulthood is having low emotional tolerance, struggling with building long-lasting relationships, hyper independence, being a high achiever, difficulty relying on other people for support, having surface level connections, and being emotionally distant. Now, I want to pause here before I go to the third attachment style. I don't want this to seem as if I'm coming for your parents, right? Not at all. What I want this to be is informative and educational, that we get to identify, how do I connect to people? How does conflict affect me in my relationships, right? And we get to change that. So number 3, the third attachment style is disorganized or fearful avoidant attachment. And usually this attachment style forms when there has been like significant childhood trauma that the parent who should be a source of security and safety actually becomes a source of fear, right? And some of the patterns can look like having an intense fear of letting anybody too close, fears that people close to you are going to hurt you, having a fear of intimacy, having an expectation of rejection and being let down, and exhibiting signs of self-sabotage. And so what that looks like is what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you hold the belief, people are going to let me down, people are not going to show up for me, those kinds of things, then you begin to act in a way as if you believe that. And so you start to exhibit those signs, right? And act in a way as if you've already been rejected, right? And then the last one, number 4, is secure attachment. And what this looks like is being social, warm, easy to connect to, being able to build deep, meaningful relationships, being aware of and able to express your feelings well. Children who have a secure attachment have 5 conditions that are cultivated in childhood. Number 1 is safety. Number 2 is feeling safe and known. Number 3 is feeling comforted, soothed, and reassured. Number 4 is feeling valued. And number 5 is feeling supported to explore. So now these things are healthy. That is a healthy attachment, right? And it's possible to develop a secure attachment in adulthood. I share all of this to say that It's super important to identify how we show up in our relationships because we are relational beings. It is how God created us, right? And the beautiful thing about attachment is that it has the potential to change. So if you have an anxious attachment, it is possible to begin cultivating patterns of secure attachment, right? And so it's important, right, to know how our attachment style informs how and why we respond to conflict the way we do. And when we can do that, we can gently confront those patterns and begin healing them from within, right? We can't change the past and how people may or may not loved you, but we can partner with God in the presence and heal the wounds in us from those attachments, right? A big part of becoming aware of our relational patterns is revisiting the ruins of our past to begin building new again with the master builder, which is God, right? Before I end this video, I want you to end the video and go to attachmentproject.com. On this website, you're actually going to be able to take the quiz. It takes about 5-6 minutes to complete the quiz, and you'll be able to know what is my attachment style. And it's super informative. It's not used to diagnose, it is used to inform. And from there, you'll be able to be equipped, right, to do the work on changing whatever patterns that are necessary to change. Knowing your attachment style can actually empower and equip you to break intergenerational trauma. You are equipped, you are empowered. Be well.